people enlisted in helping US President Donald Trump to Moscow 2 days to meet the has been stepping up its support and while the other fatality occurred at the outskirts of the Velikopisarivska community in Sumy. Elsewhere on the front line, Russian forces claimed 2 more villages in the Donetsk region, increasing the pace of their advance. Local officials said the Ukrainians were attacking Russia's western city of Pereira, wounded 27 people. Some said he obstructed movement and weapons to Ukraine. Leader Vladimir Putin for rejecting a ceasefire and instead intensifying attacks.
Good morning, it's Gilbert here, 17 minutes past the hour. And as you know, second hour of the show, we have special interviews right here in the studio, different days, different themes. And on midweek, Wednesday, it's going to be really interesting talking to our guests in the studio on what matters. And just to give you a little heads up here, with our guests on a Wednesday, today's edition, the 16th of July. And we'll be talking to a young professor, architect, Adrianta Aziz. All right. And, well, he's got a very unique name, though, and he looks like James Bond, though. So if you happen to be on our social media platform, that's on TikTok and YouTube, it is TRAXXfm Official. And on our Facebook page, it is TRAXXfm. Now, our topic today for What Matters. This is, as I mentioned earlier on, it is with regards to an exhibition that will be happening here next week. And it's going to be also coinciding together with ASEAN, as you know, as we play chairmanship to the ASEAN countries and with all the happenings in the capital city. So it's going to be something or an exhibition that will be taking place in two different venues. Now, that's at MyTech, which will be on the 21st till the 24th of July, and then at the KL Convention Center on the 23rd till the 26th of July. So what is it? What's going to happen? Well, the exhibition that features designs when you talk about buildings, when you talk about structures, well, innovation with the structures. So this particular exhibition will be called Architects, Bridging Business and Nurturing Talent, with our guests in the studio. And a very good morning to you, Professor. Professor, welcome to the studio. Could you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi Gilbert. Thank you for inviting me this morning. So my name is Architect Adrianta Aziz, as a PAM president, practicing architects, and also I'm also educators. So at the moment now I'm still practicing, but serve full time with PAM to serve industry.
All right, just to let our listeners know, Professor happens to be the president of Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia. Now, that's PAM, right? So, Prof, can you just tell us a little bit more about yourself, your involvement in PAM?
All right, okay. Thank you for the questions. So, my journey in the built environment began with a deep passion in architecture. Yeah. Right. So, not just about profession, but it's a way to shape how people live, move, and interact. Mm-hmm. So I'm graduated from UITM back year 1997. We call it Diploma in Architecture because in architecture we have Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. Okay. So UITM 1997 was a Diploma in Architecture, considered as Part 1. Okay. Then I further my study in Oxford Brookes, UK, for my Master in Architecture and Urban Design, considered as Part 2, back year 1999. Okay. And I obtained my Part 3 to get the license back year 2011. So backgrounds is my education and practicing now as a Arat Architects and ARN Consulting, teaching, guiding all the young architects to obtain their license.
Nice. Yeah, all right. All right. So there you go. Big responsibility. Not only teaching, but also a president of Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia. Okay. All right. Prof, can we just jump into our questions here with our exhibition that's coming up next week, and it's known as Architect.
Yes, Architects.
Yes. Tell us a little bit more about Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia first, Professor, before we get into our exhibition.
Sure. Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia, or we call PAM, Malaysian Institute of Architects, plays a pivotal role in shaping the built environment of Malaysia. Okay. So as a national professional institution of architects, our responsibility extends beyond just representing architects. We are a key stakeholders in development, regulation, and innovation of the building industry. Okay. So PAM sets a professional standards for architectural practice, ensures the ethical conduct, and provides CPD, we call it continuous professional development, to keep our members aligned with global trends and sustainable design solution. So we mostly work closely with government agency, developers, and industry partners to influence the policies and ensure that quality, safety, and sustainability are upheld in the built environment. So, but Gilbert, we also play an educational and advocacy of role, promoting design excellence, supporting architecture education, and engaging the public on the importance of good architecture in shaping vibrant, inclusive, and resilient city. So that's why through initiatives like the PAM Awards, CLAF, Kuala Lumpur Architecture Festival, DATEM, and Architects, we create a platform for collaboration, innovation, and discourse, reinforcing our mission to elevate Malaysian architecture and contribute meaningful to nation building.
Right. You mean with all those technologies that they have, like going green buildings and things like that?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Professor, now as the ASEAN chair, Malaysia is playing a pivotal role in regional initiatives, which includes hosting Architects at MyTech, which will be on the 21st to the 24th. And then you have the other venue, which is the KL Convention Center from the 23rd till the 26th, along with what is called as REC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
REC.
and which will be at KLCC, right, on the 23rd till the 26th. Could you share a little bit or the objectives of this event?
Okay, so as Asian chair, Malaysia is taking a leading role in driving regional initiatives. One of the biggest being the hosting of Architects across two iconic venues. MyTech will be on the 21st until 24th of July, and KLCC will be held on 23rd to 26th of July alongside REC 2025 at KLCC.
Right.
So Architects, Gilbert, is Asia's leading architecture business event. It's jointly organized by PAM and CIS as part of the Kuala Lumpur Architecture Festival.
Right.
Architects slimly combines strategic role trade exhibition with the concurrent datum architectural conferences.
Right.
So taking place alongside the Asian Real Estate Conference, AREC, this now you mentioned 2025, an Asian Chairmanship initiative by the Ministry of Housing and Local Government, KPKT. AREX offers a crucial platform for Asian member states and partners to engage on the global real estate sectors with the industry undergoing a major shift. So I believe AREC will champion a real estate renaissance focusing on innovation, collaboration and impact with technologies like modular construction and smart cities leading the way.
Right. So that's the whole direction of the event that will be happening in two different venues, right?
Yeah.
One is in MyTech and the other one in KL Convention Center. But REC will be held at KLCC, right,
Yeah.
Professor?
Yeah,
Okay. And that's where you have all our ministers and so on and so forth who will be involved because it's part of the ASEAN Chairmanship, the event.
Precisely.
Right. And a little bit more fun things will be happening in MyTech, I suppose. Okay. I was reading the press
For sure, for
conference.
sure.
The one that was really interesting, but probably later we'll be getting into that, is something where we give an exposure to the young upcoming students, or should I say the next generation of our architects. And that will be at MyTech. So this is all in the what I read in the press conference. But anyway, Professor, how do major events like this foster meaningful discussions to promote commercial collaborations that shape the future of the built environment in Southeast Asia, not just in Malaysia?
Well, major events like Architects and AREC 2025 foster meaningful discussion and promote commercial collaborations that shape the future of built environment in Southeast Asia by, number one, creating high impact platform for dialogue through forums, conferences like Datum. We have 7 conferences actually, and exhibitions. And these events gather policymakers, architects, developers, and thought leaders from across Asia and beyond.
Right.
They tackle pressing issues such as climate resilience, affordable housing, and smart urbanization, and all vital to future-proofing Southeast Asian cities. So secondly, it's about enabling cross-borders partnership. And then thirdly, it's about accelerating innovation and investment. Next one is about integrating education and industry, like initiative like Architalent and Datum conferences. Not only showcase emerging talent, but also ensure a pipeline of future-ready professionals who are aligned with industry needs and sustainability goals. But that last one is about advancing Asian urban agenda.
Right.
With Malaysia's as Asian chair, these events, Gilbert, reinforce the region's commitment to inclusive, sustainable, and smart urban growth, positioning Southeast Asia as unified, resilient, and future-oriented urban bio.
Right. Professor, I was reading the press release and the events, which is in MyTech and also in KLCC. There's an estimate of 56,000 over visitors, 110 countries.
Wow, exactly.
850 exhibitors. My goodness, can you imagine the size or the amplitude of this event?
Exactly.
My goodness.
It's the first time history in PAM we propose to have 2 venues. Previously, we have only in KLCC.
Handling one venue can just drive you nuts.
Yes, yes.
But this
we do
one
our
is
best. It's going to be fun. It's
and
gonna
this
be
is two
informative.
venues. All right, so this is the responsibility of Pam, and also the man behind it. Behind Pam, of course, is a professor here in the studio. And yeah, it's not an easy task, I believe, because when you see the numbers here, 56,000 over visitors, 110 countries, and 850 exhibitors. It's a big event, not for to miss. Remember, at MyTech, it's from the 21st to the 24th of July, and then in KL, which is KLCC, KL Convention Center, 23rd till the 26th. Professor, you did mention about Datum and also Akitalent. Which will be held during Akidex. Could you just elaborate a little bit about Datum and Akitalent?
Okay, Datum, we have, it's like a conferences. We have 7 conferences, which I already proposed to the conveners. The conveners along the side is the 3 emerging young architects.
Okay.
Architect Kawarismi, Architect Sarapang, and Architect Azlan Sharawi. They are emerging young architects.
Okay.
So we have 7 Datums conferences. First day will be Datum Pam Lam, where our institute together collaborate with our Lembaga Architect Malaysia, Board of Architect Malaysia. We have dialogues about regulation, about practicing architects and also built environment. Second, we have Datum Education.
Okay.
Third, we have Datum Tech and also Datum Government. So these 4 conferences will be held in MyTech. And the next one in KLCC, we have Datum GBI, Green Building Index.
Okay.
The next one, the Datum Plus, we have a background architects, and then they're doing something else beyond of a design and art. And lastly, 2 days in KLCC will be Datum KL. So we have a very good speakers from international and also our local architects to deliver their sharing.
So there you go. It's not just a local event, but it's also an event that will open Malaysia or open the opportunities for Malaysia and people abroad. Just to let you know, or to our listeners, now this particular event, which is known as Archidex, it's Asia's leading architecture business event in the whole. Okay, so just to give our listeners heads up in what's happening right here before we get into or dive into more of our questions right here. Now, just to let you know that we happen to be on our social media platforms, on TikTok and also on YouTube, it's TRAXXfm Official, and on our Facebook page, it is TRAXXfm. So if you have any questions, probably you would like to put it on to us and ask Professor, you could, with regards of our topic today and what Archidex is all about. So talk to us through our social media platforms. We'll be taking a short break here, Professor, just to have a breather and come back. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. What Matters midweek. Welcome back to the show. And well, today a very interesting topic in the studios. What matters on Wednesday, today, the 16th of July. And we're talking to adjunct professor, architect, Adrianta Aziz, who's the president of Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia. And our topic for today, Archidex. Now, Archidex, building business and nurturing talent. Now, just to let you know, Malaysia is gearing up to host Archidex. Archidex is an exhibition that will be happening in 2 different venues, as I mentioned earlier on. One is at MyTech and the other one at KLCC. It's the Asia's leading architecture business event held under the umbrella of Kuala Lumpur Architect Festival, and taking place alongside is the ASEAN Real Estate Conference, which is known as AREC 2025, and ASEAN Chairmanship Initiative by the Ministry of Housing and Local Government. So, talking to our guests in the studios with regards of the launch of Archidex and RAC 2025, ASEAN's flagship event for future cities. So it's a very interesting topic to see what's happening here in the capital city next week. The whole week will be occupied in two different venues. One is at MyTech and the other one at KL Convention Center. MyTech between the 21st to the 24th of July, and at KLCC 23rd till the 26th of July. So we just got to know a little bit about the whole event. We were talking to our professor, or our guest in the studios. Professor, can we get on to our next question here? This is with regards of the graduate employability. Okay, now in your opinion, Professor, what are the key skills and qualities an architect must possess to succeed in the built environment sector? Can you just elaborate on that?
Very good question, Gilbert. Okay, to succeed in the built environment sector,
Right.
an architect needs more than just design talent.
Okay.
First and foremost, we must have deep empathy, the ability to understand the needs of people and communities, because architecture is ultimately about improving lives. Secondly, I can say critical thinking and problem solving are essential, because
Right.
every site, every brief, and every project brings unique challenge. So a successful architect must be able to balance aesthetics with functionality, sustainability, cost, and time. So communication and collaboration are also key, Gilbert.
Right.
We work with clients, engineers, authorities, and the public. So being able to listen, negotiate, and lead with clarity is vital. And finally, Gilbert,
Right.
I believe architects need resilience and vision, because this industry is complex and ever-changing. You need the stamina to adapt, the humanity to learn continuously, and the courage to imagine a better future, than work hard to make it real.
Right. So these are the people behind the development of probably a city. If
Yeah.
when I move it to a modern city, a technology-filled city, so these are the people behind it. The
Exactly.
architectures. Very simple. Okay. Professor, does the current job scope for architecture professionals align with what is taught at the university level? And does it meet the evolving demands of the job market in Malaysia?
Oh, okay, that's an important and timely question. Gilbert.
Uh-huh.
In many ways, our architecture schools in Malaysia provide a strong foundation.
Right.
Design thinking, technical competency, and understanding of theory and also history.
Okay.
So, however, the reality of practice today is evolving rapidly.
Right.
So, we are now expected to respond not just to form and function, but to climate change, digital disruption, social equity, and global economics. So there's a growing gap between what's taught and the full spectrum of what architects actually face, like project management, legal frameworks, AI integrations,
Yeah.
and stakeholders engagement. So the job market now demands multi-skilled professionals.
Right.
We who can think strategically, lead the teams, and innovate responsibly. That said, I believe the gap can be bridged. What we're seeing now, encouraging shift where universities are beginning to introduce interdisciplinary learning, industry exposure, and sustainability-focused circular. So what's needed is a stronger partnership between academia, the profession, and industry stakeholders to ensure our graduates are not just about job ready, it's about future ready.
Right, that's very important. Not just come out and just be a norm.
Yeah.
Okay? Just think ahead is important.
Exactly. With enjoyment, of course.
All right. Professor, modernization and technological advancement has rapidly changing the industry. How do you think these changes complement or challenge architects or an individual's creativity?
Creativity, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Gilbert, technology is a powerful double-edged sword.
Yes.
So it can either amplify creativity or constrain it, depending on how we engage with it. On the positive side, modern tools like BIM, parametric modeling, AI, and immersive simulations allow architects to visualize, test, and communicate ideas faster and more precisely than ever before. They help us explore complex geometries, optimize performance, and make data-driven design decisions, all of which open up exciting creative possibilities. So at the same time, Gilbert, there is a risk of becoming overly dependent on digital tools and losing touch with critical thinking, contextual sensitivity, and the human experience. So, what I can say here, creativity in architecture is not just about what looks impressive, but it's about meaning, purpose, and connection. So, the key is balance. So, as an architect, we must embrace technology without abandoning the institution. We should use this advancement to extend our imagination and not to replace it. Ultimately, I can say technology should serve creativity, not the other way around.
Okay. All right. That's deep, Professor. Prof, today many graduates are choosing alternative career paths, okay, working remotely, freelancing, or pursuing passion-driven work. What are your thoughts on these emerging trends that we face or that we see here in Malaysia?
Well, I think it's a very natural and positive evolution.
Right.
So the world of work is changing now.
Right.
And so are the values of the younger generation. So many graduates today seek flexibility, autonomy, and purpose in their careers. And architecture, Gilbert, as a creative discipline, can absolutely support that if we are open the new models, like what you said just now, freelancing, remote collaboration, and interdisciplinary work, allow young professionals to explore niche interests, experiment with different mediums like graphic designs, research, digital fabrication, and even work on global platforms. So this can enrich the profession as a whole by bringing in fresh perspective and diverse talents. So however, I also believe it's important for young architects to gain foundational experience in practice, to understand the realities of construction, team dynamics, and project life cycles. So once they have that grounding, a fundamental, a basic, they can better innovate and contribute meaningful wherever they choose to work. So in short, Gilbert, I welcome the trend as long as it's balanced the learning, growth, and a continued commitment to shaping the built environment with integrity, with the right attitude.
Right. So this is important for the next generation of architects to at least mold or imprint in them their character.
Exactly.
And yes, Professor, very interesting as we are talking to once again our guest in the studio, adjunct professor, architect Adriante Aziz, who is the president of Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia, and Architects. Okay, Architects, just to let our listeners know, once again, it is an exhibition, not for to miss. It will be happening in two simultaneous venues, which is in MyTech, and of course, not forgetting for KLCC. Now, on MyTech, it's on the 21st till the 24th of July, and at the KL Convention Center, 23rd till the 26th. And just to let you know that Architects 2025 is estimated to welcome over 56,000 visitors, 110 countries with over 850 exhibitors. Not an event to be missed. All right, and I was reading the press release once again, and it says that for the event in MyTech is where we'll also be displaying the younger generations of architects and their technology. So this is some of the agendas that's been lined up in MyTech, and then you get a little bit more serious into the exhibition and the convention part in KLCC with Deputy Prime Minister, and also not forgetting for Nga Koming and all the other ministers that will be involved, and that's in KLCC. So just to let you know, once again in MyTech, 21st till the 24th of July, and at the KL Convention Center from the 23rd till the 26th. It's an exhibition when it comes to architecture, development, designing. Well, this is one event not for to miss. And one more last question here, Professor. Now, mainly coming back to our talents, our professions, okay, the younger generation, the next generation. Now, many Malaysian graduates who studied abroad aim to work overseas for better exposure and higher salaries. Now, what is your perspective on this particular mindset, and how can Malaysia retain these talents? Keep them here in Malaysia and not
Okay.
lose them.
Well, it's understandable.
Okay.
Yeah. It's depends on perception actually. So many graduates who studied abroad,
Right.
like myself also.
Okay.
So I study local, and I also graduate from UK.
Okay.
Exposed to world-class practices, cutting-edge technologies and diverse design cultures. So naturally, Gilbert, they are drawn to opportunities overseas that after broader exposure, higher salaries, I can consider that,
All right.
and faster career progression. I don't see this as a negative mindset. So in fact, the global experience can be a great asset.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as we encourage these talents to eventually return and contribute back to Malaysia.
Okay.
The real issue now is not that they are going abroad, but whether we are creating an environment here that is competitive, progressive, and inspiring enough to bring them home. To retain talent, we need to offer meaningful opportunities, fair remuneration, and a platform for creative freedom and impact. So we also need to empower young professionals to take part in national projects like policy making and innovation, not just execution. If we show, Gilbert, if we show that Malaysia values their voice and vision, I believe many of our talents will not only stay, but they will lead.
Oh, that's the most important thing. Not just stay, not just be part of the show.
They will lead.
Lead the show.
Yeah.
Create better shows. Right?
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Professor. My goodness. Now, this is really enlightening. We were talking about the exhibition, and from the exhibition, we were talking about our talents, our future talents here, and how can they stay in Malaysia and develop together with us and move Malaysia to the better future. That's the whole idea. Thank you so much once again. And to my producer in the studio, thank you so much to KG. We have Rose, and not forgetting for our guest in the studio on What Matters midweek today, the 16th of July. Thank you so much, Professor. Talking to Adjunct Professor Architect Idrianta Aziz, President of Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia. And our topic today, architects, bridging business and nurturing talent. Thank you so
Gilbert.
much.
Thank you.
All right. It's going to be back to more music and also a build up to the midday news coming around in 15 minutes. Thank you for joining us. This is the Midday Buzz on a midweek. What Matters.